Welcome back. We're going to be talking about local government administration / autonomy. Just before we get into that, someone tweeted here that your guest said vote them out. What does she mean? I don't think she said vote them out. She said go out and vote the person you want.
Just be holding your remote and changing.
Don't sit down and be using your remote. That doesn't mean you should not watch our show. But let's look at local government administration. Now, it's been on the front burner for a long time, autonomy. Many people are of the view that without administrative and financial autonomy, it will be very difficult for the local government to carry out its constitutional mandate for the people at the grassroots. Now in Lagos, for instance, there's an election going on, a local government election for councillors and chairmen to the various local government. Analysts perceive local government as a viable instrument for rural transformation and for the delivery of social services to the people, building of markets, primary healthcare centers, primary schools. But despite its strategic importance to national development, it's noted that local government contribution has been minimal. I mean, over 700 local governments in Nigeria.
774.
While some say autonomy for local government will speed up development in the country, others believe it will worsen the corruption in the system. Okay, well, we have people in the house to help us look at local government administration. Yomi Fayemi is a social commentator. Thank you for coming, Yomi.
Thank you very much.
Oladeinde Ario, also a social commentator. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
And then Obinna Uche is a former local government councillor in Imo State. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let me begin with you. You've been in this system. How would you describe local government administration in Nigeria?
Messed up.
But you were there?
Yes, I was there.
At that time, was it messed up?
Our first term, 1999 to 2002, beautiful, because we were not anchored to the state. We were not tied up to the state. There was a 33-month hiatus, because Abia State had gone to court for definition of Section 7 of the Constitution. Who is in charge of local governments, the states or the local government or the federal? And it took 33 months. In those 33 months, we did wonders in my local government. We could build roads, surface dressing, transformers, concrete poles, more than 500, stretched out all through the wards, electric conductors, even boreholes. We could do those because we were not tethered to the states. There are many factors that would make the local governments not function. We are part of it. You are all a part of it. If I ask you the name of your councillor now, you may not know. And if you don't know the name of your councillor, who's going to hold him responsible? There are so many things. But if we remove the local government from state control, as K. Ombadiwe them said, would you allow me to just read a little thing, 10-line thing?
Go ahead.
K. Ombadiwe said, in 1978, November 18, we shall strengthen the local government as a third tier of our government structure. Never again shall the local government and those who lead them go cap in hand for subsistence allowance in order to keep the work of the local government going. Never again shall the state government determine the destiny of the local government because they have been entrenched in the constitution as functionaries of the third tier of the federal system. Never again will the local governments be subjected to the manipulations of the governors. The constitution has provided for the local government independent revenue sources. If this is not enough, the federal government shall give them subsidy in the same way that it has come to the rescue of the states. That was the year Macron was born.
In the 70s.
1978 till now, 39 years, we are going down, down, down. The rot is just going into an intumescence.
Mr. Ario, he said the local government system is messed up. How do you say it?
Well, you use mess up for want of a better word. For all I care, we have nothing that I can describe on whatever scale as local government administration in any of the 774 councils in Nigeria. And I say this with every authority and knowledge that I have. I must tell you that whoever gave approval to local governments being tied to the states did a lot more damage than necessary. And what do we now have? I don't know who is my councillor. I've been living in my house now for over 14 years. I don't know who is even my chairman. The last time I got to know who was the chairman, they came here to make some noise in the name of campaign, offered nothing. But what choices do we have? We had to just vote for the person they put forward. And nothing came out of it. So it's not just talking of a total government. They only exist in name and building and the wretched staff. And I use wretched because the way they staff local governments, you don't see quality staff in there. They politicize everything. They just bring thugs, charlatans, and criminals and put them in there. You only see few people, professional people there, maybe a doctor, an engineer, maybe a nurse or matron or whatever. The others are irrelevant souls, just packed in there in the name of giving jobs to the boys. And how now can we expect anything reasonable to come out of that? So what happens? You see chairmen who never lived in that community before, now imposed as chairmen, and when they come in there, what do? They wait for allocation from the federal government, which will have been multiplied sliced by the state governor, and then the pittance that the person gets, he only pays salaries, pensions don't get paid, gratuities don't get paid. He steals, and I use the word steal with emphasis, he steals the balance. Today, go around, you see hotels, mansions, and investments owned by council chairmen, whose councils never thrived. No IGR, nothing, no service delivery.
Mr. Fawemi, I hope you can see a little brighter side in local government.
I think so. I mean, because sometimes we complain about Nigeria and say things as if we want a new solution. Local governments were not like this. Let's talk about Lagos State. There's a Lagos Island local government. That's the one that has the headquarters in City Council or City Hall. That local government was rich enough in Nigeria at a point that the Lagos Island local government approached the capital market to raise bonds. I'm sure you all know Surah Shopping Complex. Surah Shopping Complex was raised from bonds by that local government. That local government approached the Nigerian capital market for bonds before Ogun State. That means, the way people will say Lagos State is the richest if you compare it to other states. There was a local government in Lagos State that could approach the capital market before other states could. Lagos. Let's go to Oyo State. There used to be Ibadan municipal government. Ibadan municipal government was a municipal government managing the whole of Ibadan. That local government was able to access loan from the World Bank. The state government only acts as a guarantor. So when we say things are bad, it's not as if things had always been bad. It's that things went bad. And so the question is, what was responsible for the situation that we found ourselves? Like he rightly said, the governors, and I dare say that sometimes we assume our problem in Nigeria is the federal government. The governors have shown greater capacity to be more destructive when it comes to institutional building. So you have a situation where